Hello, I'm Laura Copley-Smith and Fiona Adams is with me today, and we are talking about women and money. And today we're going to touch on non-retirement investments. And this is partly because 80% of women who go into retirement impoverished with very little financial literacy. And so this is a hot topic that women are not providing for themselves as they age, basically.
It's quite shocking, Laura. It's quite shocking.
It is. Well, I have some information here that 80% of women are more likely to be impoverished in retirement, and have very, very little financial knowledge, which means that they don't even know how to get themselves out of that situation.
And we were saying that on the whole, women, if they have money, they hold 71% of that in cash. So they don't look at different avenues, safe avenues to invest. And they only have roughly 2/3 of the retirement money of men in that same age bracket. So they're not putting away enough money for retirement, which is very sad. And I know a few women now that could be happily retired, but unfortunately they haven't looked after themselves financially, and they're still working way into their 70s, you know, when they could be just enjoying their grandkids or their family.
Yeah, exactly. 71% approximately of women holding their assets in cash, which, you know, in this changing world into digital money, so to speak, what are they going to do? That if they've got financial illiteracy, that means that they're probably also going to struggle with digital literacy. And that means that if they've got it in cash, whether it's in if it's in the bank, it's not actually being invested in building any wealth for their future.
And I understand that a lot of women would be, what's the word, a little bit hesitant or a little bit scared about investing, because it's a huge world out there. So they would really have to do research and get some guidance to do it. And I was reading something the other day where someone said, you shouldn't invest until you clear your debt. Well, I don't think that's a practical thing. I think you could probably do both. You know, you're paying off your credit card, whatever it is, $200 a month on your credit card. You could be popping $50 a month, $100 a month, whatever is in your budget, aside for investing as well, looking at both sides. Otherwise, you'll never get ahead, because you could be in debt forever, but you need to start putting that money aside to invest.
Well, it also means that if you find the right thing to invest in, that investment might actually be helping you to pay that debt off. If you're just paying the debt off from working, 12 hours a day, which quite often late 60s into your 70s, I know plenty of people who are, and they're not particularly living their dreams or working their passion. So it means that, it's going to take you a lot longer to pay that debt off if you're not doing anything to increase your wealth.
I agree. And I want to emphasize the do your own research. You find an area you're interested in to invest in, do lots of Googling, check with lots of people in that area about all the intricacies of that investment, because I am concerned. I do know women that have jumped into investments and have been scammed and have lost their money. So I can understand why, 71% of women keep their funds in cash, because it's scary out there. So my suggestion is do your homework and triple, quadruple check before you actually invest. And maybe you put a little bit in at first and get the feeling for whether that's going to work. And maybe you invest in that thing and that thing. And investments can look in, come in all shapes and sizes. It can actually be totally different to what we think. It could be, your stocks, shares, whatever, your hedge funds, but it can also be, I know someone who invests in baseball cards and makes thousands and thousands of dollars in baseball cards. Might not be a woman's thing, but the equivalent of that. So it's whatever sort of you're drawn to, and then thoroughly do your research and get guidance. Don't just jump into the whole investment world and throw money at it. Learn it, work out what you're interested in and go for it.
And there's also, in this sort of digital age, there's all sorts of very interesting things that are emerging that can make, make money, and also the passive income element of looking at how you can make passive income that is going to be ongoing, basically, so that you're not just making money from doing something specific, that you're actually creating something that's going to go on for many, many years.
I agree. I think that's really important, to be looking for passive income investments. And again, checking them out really carefully. But yes, something that can bring you regular income is very, very important.
Anything else? Not really.
No, I think it's just the matter of doing the research.
And actually, yeah, interesting stat also was that 40% of women, 40% less women invest than men. So that just tells you, doesn't it, that we really are lacking in looking after our future.
Yes, I agree. And I think there's some sort of mind block with a lot of women that, oh, that's too hard, I don't want to think about that. But we're talking about our intention and our focus. Once you've got that focus for self-care, which includes financial self-care, then you start down the path of, okay, I'm going to do financial self-care. Part of it is working out passive income or investing. And once you've got that intention, then you start noticing, and then you start learning, and it opens up for you. But you have to drop the blinkers and think, okay, part of my financial future is working out how to invest wisely.
Yeah, most certainly. Taking responsibility for our own journey of financial wealth.
Definitely.
Okay, that's fantastic. Thank you very much for being here with me today. I'm sure we'll talk more on this topic again in the future.
Thank you, Laara.